Hey guys.
So we are currently in Bari, staying in this B&B.
We'll get to that. So the last time we updated you, we were in Athens at whatever time in the morning.
3 in the morning. Yeah, it was outrageous.
Ended up you had 4 hours sleep, I had 3.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, we're gonna have a crazy day biking out to Diakopto, which we thought was only 50k away. So I thought it was only 50k away. So
surprise!
Okay, so
90.
we get onto this. So we get on the train to Corinthos because Bill told us that just train, don't bike. It's not worth it. It's too dangerous. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. So we hop on the train. We have to when we get on the train, we don't mean like a GO train or even like a
Via train. It was a metro train.
Yeah, it was so we spent the entire hour moving our bikes back and forth
because the doors kept switching,
trying to accommodate for people getting off the train. And then
got to Corinthos.
We finally got to Corinthos.
Spent a smooth 30 seconds before all of Aaron's luggage fell off into the street. I crash into it. All my luggage falls off. Luggage is strewn across the street.
Yeah, this was the first 30 seconds of our bike trip. Completely shambly, everywhere. And then we're like, okay, so we load all our stuff back on. We're like, all right, finally figure out how to use our panniers. We're we're good to go. Got all of our stuff. We'll go to Diakopto. It'll be excellent. 50k, whatever.
And it started out smoothly. It was lovely. It was flat. There's smooth. We're right by the sea.
Mountains on one side, sea on the other side. It's beautiful. And we're biking. We're like, oh, we must have gone pretty far. So stop off at this grocery store. We're like, okay, just gonna ask them how far we are actually. And they're like, oh, I think it's 50k to Diakopto. And we're like,
villagers don't know where they are. 50K
no, 50k.
Away.
We've already been biking for 50k. Yeah, it's not, we're okay.
It turns out it was.
It was actually 50k. So
we get so dejected.
35k later. Yeah.
Stop for ice cream and find out that it's another 15. So we're all excited, eat our ice cream, lounge in the parking lot.
Literally, we found out it was 15. We're like, 15k! Yeah! High-fiving the lady, at the store. It was, anyways. So we're, biking along.
So we were excited.
We were super excited. Biking along. We finally get to Diakopto. We're, dead. Beyond belief.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we hit that point, it just became mountains and started to rain. Full-blown thunderstorm. It was lovely.
Oh, yeah. So, we get to Diakopto, finally, which, is a miracle, by the way, because, A, Greece, for some reason, doesn't have, signs with the names of the towns
or the kilometers.
Or the kilometers between towns.
No,
they're just, sometimes you'll run into, a sign with the name of the town with, a red line through it, meaning you've left that town. Which is oh, thanks, Greece, for letting me know I've left a town that I didn't even know I was in, because you didn't tell me. Anyways, so we get to Diakopto, we finally just pass out.
I think I read 2 words in my book before I fell asleep with it on my face.
And we slept by the sea, so we woke up in the morning and we went for a swim in the morning and we're drying ourselves off and we run into this Greek couple. Well, I run into this Greek couple and I start talking to them because they have this really cute dog named Lady. And this Greek couple's like, oh, where are you from? We're just chatting to them about how we're from Canada. We're doing this cycling trip. And they're like, oh, that's great. And then they make on their way. And then 3 minutes later, this lady comes back with fresh oranges from her orange tree and biscuits for us for breakfast. And she's like, here you go. These are for you. Thank you, for visiting us or whatever. I was like, oh, this is great. She's like, come in for a coffee. And I was like, no, we're going to leave.
I was down for coffee. But we did want to get on our way.
Yeah.
Until we realized that I had a flat on day 2.
Yeah. And I realized, Colleen's like, oh, I have a flat. And then I realized I didn't actually figure out how to use the tire levers on my multi-tool.
So this was a series of, turns out it wasn't 50k. Oh, turns out I don't know that there's not a tire lever on my multi-tool. So at this point.
So I'm like, okay, Colleen, I can't figure this out. I have the wheel off. I can't figure out how to get the tire off with this multi-tool. So I'm like, okay, Colleen, you're going to stay here, figure out how to use the multi-tool. I'm going to go dip around Diakopto, which, by the way, is a small town. and trying to find a bike shop. So I leave Colleen on the side of the road.
I napped.
And she tried to figure it out. And I started biking around Diakopto, and all the locals are giving me these like crazy different directions. Like they're like, go this way to the bike shop, go this way. I'm like, I can't figure it out. I can't speak Greek. Like, you can't speak English. It's not working out very well. And I see this guy with a fairly nice bike, so I'm like, I'm gonna ask him. He's on the side of the road, but he has a nice bike, and he must know where a bike shop is. And so he was like, oh, do you know where a bike shop is? He's like, oh yeah, follow me. So I get on my bike, I follow him, and then he takes me to the shop that's like pretty much a convenience store with bike parts in a corner, like in a pile. So I'm like sorting through the pile, trying to figure out where the tire levers are. And he's going like, so what's the problem? What's the problem? I'm like, okay, it's a flat. And he's like, oh yeah, come with me. So I'm thinking we're going to another bike shop. So I get on my bike and follow him, and I slowly realize that we are getting into a residential area. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a serial killer, like for reals. He's gonna like kill me, and then he's gonna go find Colleen and kill her or some shit like that. I don't know. So anyways, he ends up, so I'm waiting outside his house like, oh, this is a bad idea. And he comes out with tire levers, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna come with you. We're like, okay. And he ended up being like the best person in the entire world.
Pretty much tuned up my bike for me.
Yeah. Changed Colleen's tires, went through step by step how we should do it, like how we fix any other problems, tunes Colleen's bike up, like changes the pressure in her tires. It's like, this is what you need, this is what you need. And then takes off like a magical like bicycle mechanic, Costas. I don't know, he's the loveliest person.
Yeah, that was a really long story to explain how Costas is a bike whiz, and we are eternally grateful to him. So anyway, getting on the road to Patra.
Yeah, so we get to the Patra, and it's actually 50K this time.
That day was 50K.
So it wasn't bad at all, although the roads were
mental.
Crazy.
Costas did warn us that they were dangerous, but
we were like,
there's one point where I'm pretty sure what was an off-ramp from the highway led into a roundabout that went up a hill during rush hour. And we were
just stuck in traffic, like
cars.
Like we weren't even moving. Like we didn't even know what to do. Like we had enough time to like take a couple pictures of like Colleen being like in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
So we finally get to Patra.
That was also the day that I found out that there were snakes in Greece.
Oh, yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah. So we finally get to Patra, but yet again, we don't even know we're in Patra because there's no sign being like, welcome to Patra. It's just like, psych, you're in Patra. You should have known by now somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, we caught the ferry.
Ended up catching the ferry successfully. Mm-hmm. And pass out on the ferry. Mm-hmm. And get woken up by this Australian couple.
Yeah, who had apparently parked their bikes beside us and had the good fortune of sitting beside us on the ferry after that.
Yeah, so they're sitting beside us telling us about everything. And then we're all like, oh, maybe we should go to sleep. And then this guy, like 3 seats away from us, is just snoring. Like, and this is
but kind of snoring like anything you've ever heard. Like, not that constant background snore. Just 3 sporadic monster snores. Like it got to a point where the whole cabin was just laughing at him, and he wasn't waking up.
The Australian guy's like smacking his feelings together. Yeah, in front of his face, like, wake up, man, wake up, wake up. And we're all just like, oh my god, I can't believe he's doing this. This guy's just like
I wish that noise was adequate to describe it. So I didn't sleep at all. Aaron has just passed out all night on the floor. It was so impressive.
We finally get to Bari, and we're supposed to stay with our friend Nicola. Not Nico in Canada, another Nicola. And so we get to Bari, we're like, okay, we're trying to contact this guy. Not getting it. And so we're like, have all of our stuff. So then we go out for breakfast with this Australian couple, and then we're like, oh, let's just go to the beach. And then the Australian couple just like randomly showed up at the beach, so we had lunch with them. And then we realized that, Nicola's not going to get back to us. It's like, oh, we better find somewhere to stay. So we're looking up hostels, and we're trying to find this hostel. And by the way, like, we're in Bari right now, in Italy, and like the streets are crazy. Like, super narrow, they're everywhere, there's no grid system. It's just like...
Yeah, we're in the old town, so it's a maze.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it, and finally we get to this B&B that's just marked on the outside, and this guy's biking by, stops.
Like biking with another bike he's holding, and he's got like 2 children following.
Yeah, we're
behind
clearly
him.
tourists, so he starts yelling up to Johnny, who apparently owns this B&B.
Like pressing all the buttons in the building, like Johnny, like calling the number. Like we're like,
yeah,
what's
he
going
calls
on?
this other lady who just rolls up and opens it up for us, takes my passport, without really a word.
And it's just like €55.
Yeah,
Leaves.
Yeah.